obviously there's a few fresh faces in the team. So as a senior player, hopefully I can play my role and contribute to those guys remembering their first game for Australia. Obviously they got the NRL influence through Douglas from the Titans, Aiken, Coot and Leonard from the Cowboys. Obviously Aiken's from the Dragons. They also got Danny Brough, who I believe was one of the short-listed favourites for the Man of Steel a few years ago. Brearley's at half. So yeah, we've done a bit of our homework. A few players we obviously wouldn't have come across face to face, obviously being here in the Super League, but I think that's part of the mystique of the Four Nations, having that fourth team involved. As one of the leading nations, Australia, New Zealand and England, we've got a responsibility to lift the profile of the rest of the nations that play rugby league. There's a World Cup in 12 months' time, so as a member of the Australian team, I support the inclusion of those second-tier countries, as we call them, and hopefully that brings a new energy, a new level to the Rugby League World Cup. But not looking too far ahead. We've got a pretty good game against Scotland here in Hull, and very much looking forward to it. Was fortunate enough to play a part in his NRL debut, and I'll be playing a part in his Australian debut. So there's some similarities there, and he's obviously grown up into a father and a really good player over that course of the time. So hopefully he's one of 5 players as a senior member of the side, as I said earlier, that hopefully I can have an input and an influence on them guys remembering their Australian debuts. We've had a couple of good training sessions this week, and he'll play his role. He won't step outside of anything that Mal hasn't designed for him to do. But the other thing too, along with Jimmy and the other 4 guys, that the reason they've been picked is because they've done something really well for their club teams over the last period of time. So they need to bring that to the Australian team, keep doing what they do, but they just need to do it with a little bit more passion, a little bit more aggression, and a little bit more urgency. Yeah, he's very respectful, very well mannered. He's one of those guys you can't say a bad word about, but he's a fierce competitor on the field. So, along with his brother at Manly, I think they're going to be at the forefront of what Manly does really well for the next 10 plus years, and hopefully that leads to him playing some representative games. And as a senior player running out alongside those guys making their debut and singing the national anthem, I want to play a part, and hopefully they remember that. I think they've got some of their family members coming over, so it's a big occasion. Some guys have, like Cameron's played 45 odd tests, and these guys are making their debuts, having families flown halfway around the world to see them play. So you don't take that responsibility lightly. So it's our job to go out and make sure the team's on the right position, on the right track, doing the right things, and then let those guys shine and do their skills, and hopefully it can be a good game for us. Look, there's some guys that have been a part of this team for a long period of time. And,
thank you.
Cameron's obviously at the forefront of that. And, it's important to respect and showcase the milestones, but as a leading player, I think what's more important to these guys 5 debuts. I remember my debut a long time ago, a few grey hairs ago, and it was a memorable occasion. We played in Wellington, my family flew over. It was probably the most emotional I've been before a game, singing the national anthem and standing in front of the Harkers. So I know what those guys have been through. I've walked in their shoes, and hopefully I can just calm the nerves a little bit, but also play a role to make sure that they can feel comfortable and do what they do best on the footy field.